Okay. By the time, so you are still on the call while you're getting your laptop, right?
Yeah, I have missed the first few sessions, so um, I'm not sure fully. Like I've attended the first one, but after that I couldn't attend any.
You can watch the recorded session, but this is something that where we go a little deep into things, and it is at the same time connected to the previous sessions, and it can also be looked at as a standalone thing.
So should I watch the previous sessions and then attend this, or should I just?
No, you can do this as well. With the
Oh,
previous session, you will have a better understanding of this.
oh,
This is a standalone, but with other things, it will be more base building for you.
okay,
So this is what we'll be covering today. We'll be understanding observations and insights. We'll be questioning it. We will do some unwrapping of things. We will mine some insights. And if you are into the zone, we can do the life testing of the insights as
okay.
well. So, observation and insight. We will watch a video.
Coke is just soda, Tylenol just acetaminophen, and Levi's are just jeans. Yet consumers go out of their way to select these specific brands over others.
An economist would say, how is this possible that a rational consumer would be willing to pay more for exactly the same thing? We love to think about ourselves as rational. That's not how it works. A very famous study done by colleagues at Duke University had flashed either the Apple logo or the IBM logo to two randomized groups of participants.
The study found that after being subliminally exposed to the Apple logo, compared to when you've been exposed to the IBM logo, participants performed better on creative tasks.
And the argument is that Apple has been telling you this story over and over again, that Apple is the brand for hip, cool, fun, creative people.
This is the true power of brands. They can influence our behavior in ways that extend way beyond the point of sale. So, to what degree can the influence of brands wreak havoc on our ability to make rational spending decisions? This is Your Brain on Money. This is Americus Reed. He studies identity and marketing at the University of Pennsylvania.
When I make choices about different brands, I'm choosing to create an identity. When I put that shirt on, when I put those shoes on, those jeans, that hat, someone is going to form an impression about what I'm about. So if I'm choosing Nike over Under Armour, I'm choosing a kind of different way to express affiliation with sport. The Nike thing is about performance. The Under Armour thing is about the underdog. I have to choose which of these different conceptual pathways is most consistent with where I am in my life.
And once a consumer makes that choice, their relationship with a brand can deepen to the point where they identify with the brand like family. And once you identify with a brand, it can shape the way you behave.
And it's really interesting because they will also, if someone talks bad about that product, brand, or service, they will be the first to go out and defend. Why? Because an attack on the brand is an attack on themselves.
Michael Platt is a professor of neuroscience, marketing, and psychology whose research demonstrates how our perception of brands influences our decisions.
There's an idea in marketing, which is that we relate to brands in the same way we relate to people. It's like, I love this brand, or I hate this brand. Of course, what people say, right, can often be different from what's really going on in their heads. So we thought, well, why don't we just ask the brain directly?
Michael and his team observed the brains of iPhone users and Samsung Galaxy users with an MRI machine while they heard good, bad, and neutral news about Apple and Samsung.
Apple customers showed a brain empathy response toward Apple that was exactly what you'd see in the way you would respond to somebody in your own family.
Strangely, Samsung users didn't have any positive or negative responses when good or bad news was released about their brand. The only evidence that Samsung users showed was reverse empathy for Apple news, meaning if the Apple headline was negative, their brain reflected a positive response.
You know, it really shows us that Apple has completely defined the market here. Samsung customers, it seems, from their brain data, are only buying Samsung because they hate Apple.
The kicker? The Samsung users didn't report feeling the results their MRIs showed. What was happening in their brains and what they reported feeling towards Apple and Samsung were totally different.
Most people just don't realize that they are subconsciously choosing brands because those brands have some kind of self-expressive value.
You can see there's a lot of power here in terms of shaping consumers' decisions. As we learn more and more about that, we have to think much more deeply about the ethical, legal, and societal implications of doing that.
So as consumers, what can we do to make informed choices? Well, the best thing we can do is be aware of the influence that brands hold.
I think it's important to always pause and think a little bit about, okay, why am I buying this product?
And like it or not, brands aren't going anywhere.
I've heard lots of people push back and say that I'm not into brands. I take a very different view. They're not doing anything any different than what someone who affiliates with a brand is doing. They have a brand, it's just an anti-brand brand. And I think about what is it that I've learned about identity over time. I think a lot of it has to do with the fundamental need that we as humans have to have support systems. Perhaps it was the church, it was the community, it was these other institutions that existed. Now brands have stepped in as pillars of our identity. So I'm very much motivated to see that in that positive light.
So, in one of my sessions, I've said that this is not just about writing; it is about branding and positioning as well.
Yeah.
What does this video gives you an understanding of?
That you should have a more deeper, like all the brands have a deeper connection with their customers. Like the high-end brands have a deeper connection with their customers.
Indeed, yes, and that's how you create empathy, or I would say a neurological connection with them.
Yeah.
So, how do they arrive to that particular thing? We will understand today. So, in my content writing course, which I take with UA, I touch the base where I tell you about different types of writing, how do you do SEO and all. But here I deep dive into the real part of content writing. It's not like that blogs and articles are not real format of content writing, but changing changing the lives and impacting the society is a particular thing that advertisements and brands do. Before Apple, everything was just normal, but Apple made a difference in the market of technology altogether.
Yeah.
And that is what we will be getting into today. See, see, observations and insights are same, but different. You must be like, eh, don't worry, I have got you. So observations mean what are people doing? In my session of content writing, not copywriting, I tell my mentees to observe things around them. So, but that observation means you are seeing what people are doing. But the insight is knowing the why behind that. Why does a person gets irritated when you do a certain thing repeatedly?
So basically, observation is knowing that they are irritated. Insight is knowing why they are irritated.
Yes. And when you know the insight, you know how to get things done.
Yeah.
And that is what brands are doing, and that is what we will be learning today. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. So to give an example, the next time, this is a common practice. Next time you are in a room full of people, notice what happens when a person yawns. See what happens. Everybody starts yawning.
Yeah.
Involuntarily, they'll start yawning.
Yeah.
That's an observation. But knowing that, this is a psychological effect, then why of it, the next time you are not feeling yet to yawn, but you do it to experiment.
Yeah.
That's an insight behind it. Arthur, in one of his books, said, each day is a little life. Very small sentence, but it has a very deep meaning.
Yeah.
Each day is a little life. There's a life altogether biography, but every day you are living a life. Every day you are going through maybe shade or happiness, achievement, excitement, something. Every day has a power packed thing for you. It can be positively power packed, negatively, or just a neutral. But every day is a little life. So, to know why people do what they do, you need to investigate deeply. You need to understand the human behavior. You need to understand the psychology behind it. From observation, intuition, and introspection to everything. Because the why is not easy. When you will see the golden circle inside bullseye session, you will know there are three layers to how does a brand acquires this why. One is what, the second one is how, and the closest one, the very small one, is the why. So knowing why, we need you to do a lot of mehnat.
Yeah.
Now, when we have understood this baseline of how observation is different from our insight, and how things differ, and how brands position them and use this insight to have better brand positioning, brand value, and more customer loyalty, we will now unwrap a few insights. Before knowing what an insight is, we need to know what is not an insight. Stating facts is not an insight. Facts are very, it's like in the first session I said there is a concept of truism and there is an insight.
Yeah.
So facts are truism. The facts are visible. Apple is red. Apple's inner contents are whitish, creamish. These are facts. We're finding how to roll out facts from our everyday life is finding an insight. But stating the facts from our everyday life is not an insight.
That's observation.
Yes, my phone gets charged in 15 minutes. That's a fact. That's not an insight. So, then what is an insight? This is an insight. What do you understand from it?
That the person is not listening to everyone, what everyone is saying.
Yeah, and this is an insight. When you are at airport, there are a lot of people next to you, and it becomes very irritating at a point of time where you cannot read the book that you took, uh, Maybe fancying this particular situation of reading a newspaper or a book on an airport, while you are boarding a flight. And suddenly you go there and you see a lot of people chatter doing, and there's no way that you can concentrate. That's where
Yeah.
Sony headphones comes in.
Mhm.
You wear the Sony's headphone, you do not listen to all of the major what do you call these which phones are these? Yeah, megaphones. You don't
Yeah.
listen to all of these noises, you cancel them. That's an insight. If Sony just would have said, our headphones are noise cancelling,
Yeah.
that's a fact. But this is an insight. They put it into a life situation which made it an insight. The benefit, the usability of it in a certain situation made it an insight for them. And you see the minimal choice of words that they have done turn your world down.
Yeah.
So Sony MDR NC50 noise cancellation headphones dramatically reduces your unwanted sound, so you can travel to your quiet place. That's it. When you have an insight, no, you have to use less words because you have communicated a lot of things through
Through
this.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, you know, e- what insight is, this is an example, like, and everything what we practice. Connect or disconnecting. For the same headphone, this can also be an insight. Connect by disconnecting. You connect a product, a feature, a benefit to that situation by disconnecting the brand promotion altogether.
Yeah.
That is what an insight. This is what we want to practice. We have to practice, and this is what we all want. Nowadays, we just don't want plain features written on our screen or on that leaflet. We want something masala, yeah, that catches our attention. About insight, let's watch this guy. He's great guy, and he talks about insight in a much uh, great way and in a deep meaning.
An insight is a revelation. It is hidden in plain sight, and once you hear it, you will have a visceral reaction. Ha! Or aha! In advertising, they help catch the attention and get our audience to look at the problem in a new way. For example, an insight for female razor brand Billy was that razor brands help us remove hair, but they pretend it doesn't exist in commercials. My name is Julian Cole, a strategy consultant to leading brands like Uber, Facebook, Disney, Apple, and Snap. I'm also a strategy trainer at the Planning Dirty Academy. If you're after more strategy tools and resources, subscribe to the channel. Insights in advertising help us do one of two things when it comes to the consumer problem. They help us reframe the problem, or they provide us a surprising solution. For extra gum, the brand realized people were worried about being socially awkward post-lockdown. They reframed the problem by revealing the insight that you don't need to worry about social awkwardness because the whole world will also be socially awkward post-lockdown. For Cheetos popcorn, the problem for people was that they were being pressured to optimize every minute, even the downtime of snack time. They revealed a surprising new solution. Cheetos Dusk being your perfect alibi for doing nothing. Let's hear more about insights with Danish Chan, co-founder and strategy director of Untangled.
Okay, so the thing about strategy is it doesn't necessarily have to be new. Like, so we'll talk about ideas and what they are, but there's especially in our industry, there's a obsession with newness. Like, has this been done before? What's the fresh thought? Strategy doesn't necessarily have to be new. It just has to solve the problem. What is inherent and unique about the way we do strategy is that we want to find the new way to solve a problem. And that's where the insight comes in, which is, what's the thing that changes my perspective on the world, or this thing we're talking about? So if we're looking for a new way to solve a problem, the insight's the kind of thing that makes you reframe, re-look at something and kind of go, oh, I hadn't thought about it that way. And it doesn't have to be super deep. It rarely is. It just maybe is a re-articulation of something we say every day, or it's a flipping of a notion that we took for granted, or it is a fact or a data point that changes the way you understand something. And maybe that's the important part of the last part, which is it's about what you understand from the data point, not the data point itself. But I think in all those circumstances, it's helping you see the world or the problem in a new way. And I think that's what I think an insight is.
So we saw with Sony one side of the insight, that is making benefit look as a very disconnected part of that situation. The other
Yeah.
part, what this video suggested, is you can reframe the problem. We gave them a solution in that. You can also reframe the problem, like for the extra gum. And it doesn't need to be new every time.
Yeah.
It has to be presented in a
In a
different.
new way. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. So this is what strategy and insight looks like in professional world. Cool.
Yeah.
Sense? Let's mine some insight and let's get to know how you get to an insight, because looking at ads and understanding the insight is one thing, but how do you make and break your insight? So these are a few points that you use while mining an insight. First is you define the product feature. Then you tell what benefits a person can get from this product. Third is what happens with the benefit of the product. Fourth is what happens because that happens in the third point. And then you deduce an insight. Make sense?
Yeah.
I have a chart for this as well. You can take a screenshot of it. It can help you. In first, you define the product. In second, you define the benefit of it. Third, you tell what is the benefit of it. And then in fourth, you say what benefit do you get out of that benefit. And fifth is an insight that you deduce. So for Chupa Chups, you know Chupa Chups?
Yeah.
We will do this thing. The product is Chupa Chup makes sugar-free candies and lollipops. Okay. Benefit is you consume less sugar. What happens when you consume or use Chupa Chups? Better health and more craving satisfied.
Wait,
What
Chupa Chups doesn't have it has sugar-free products.
Yes, it has.
Oh, I thought it was not like that.
So see, our Indian markets are very messed up.
Yeah.
Chupa Chups का original वाला शायद होगा भी नहीं market में. It's the third party something that is going on with some loophole with the trademark. But Chupa Chups has a very segment of sugar-free candies and lollipops as well, because they saw this market gap that sugar people want to consume candies and lollipops, but they are not, because they want sugar-free now.
Yeah.
So they came up with this product segment as well, that Chupa Chups sugar-free. And this is the benefit, okay? Sugar-free. This is the product feature. This is the benefit, that we consume less sugar. What happens with this benefit is we have a better health and more cravings are satisfied.
Yeah.
What happens because of this happens is The sweet lovers at homes and workspace will leave it all for you. So people who can, like you and me, we can have sugars. But people beyond 35, 40 are very conscious about sugar.
Yeah.
So usually people will sit down and you'll, if you have a candy jar in your home, it'll all be empty. But if it is sugar free, it will be left alone.
Yeah.
They'll be like, it's not cool, I don't want this. So then insight is, even ants will not waste my candy.
Yeah.
And on this, Chupa Chup made an ad.
Oh,
Ants are not touching the lollipop, they're going on the sideways.
yeah.
And no word is written here except for Chupa Chups, it's sugar free.
Yeah.
So every time copywriting is not about we write, it's about ideation.
Present.
Sorry?
How you present.
Yeah. It's about that. In the first class as well, I said copywriting is about persuading the minds of your target audience.
Yeah.
You need to find it. It need not to be new, but it needs to be something that either solves a problem or reframes the problem. We will take another example. Nike. So Nike, the product feature is Nike has lightweight, heavy performance shoes. Okay. What is the benefit of this product segment? They are light in weight and provide comfort and performance at the same time. Now, what happens because of this benefit is wearing the shoes for long time is easier. Do you remember wearing heavy shoes for long times and be like, "Arey, yeah, what is this on trekking?"
Yeah.
So the benefit is wearing shoes for long times is easy. And what happens when this happens is I'd feel light, more relieved, and something, you know, very relieved. I'll feel light on my feet. So, what can be an insight? I feel like flying.
Yeah.
I would feel light and more relieved. I'll feel like flying. And how do you represent this insight? Is this? Excuse me while I kiss the sky. The flights on Nike, quite possibly the best way to find out if you are afraid of heights. A very minimal
Yeah.
present, but a very impactful copy with just one line. The flight series from Nike, quite possibly the best way to find out if you're afraid of heights. With the headline, the shoulder, excuse me while I kiss the
Yeah.
sky. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah. It's very unique.
So this rat race of getting trendy, getting new, and getting something which stands out is okay. It's not bad. Hopping onto trends, doing things is good. But to become a trending brand, you need to find the why. And when you found the why, you need to start finding an insight for the brand. Where can this be used? That's very important.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you want to ask up till now?
No.
Perfectly clear?
Yeah.
Now let's try to find some insight and see the insightful presentation that you might have in your mind. You have a brand in your mind, or should I give you one?
You can give me one.
Um, let's take Lenscart.
Okay. So features is that you can order your lenses online
Yes.
when at home.
Yes.
You can also try them.
Yeah. You can try it at home only.
Yeah.
So that's the feature.
Yeah.
And so more than 200 frames can be at home and you can
Yeah.
try it. That's a feature. Now you take 10-15 minutes,
Okay.
break down, come with few insights, not one, few insights, because this is very simple way to find insights, and you'll find a lot of
Yeah.
insights, and then we will see which is an insight, which is not an insight.
Okay.
I will give you the link of one doc. You can write your insights over there.
Okay.
I've dropped the link in the chat. You can access it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So in the inside, do I have to write like the main catching line or
Just the inside, just the inside, not an ad, an inside.
okay. So I came up with two. I didn't elaborate on it. So like one is anywhere, anytime, as in like they can make an advertisement by showing someone probably even in like the washroom doing their brushing their teeth, and they don't have time for anything. They're going for work and they're trying on lenses. So
Hmm.
it's like you don't have to waste your time doing it.
Hmm.
Or I don't think these are insights. I was just thinking of something that they can use as an advertisement.
Hmm. Think more about, some, again, how anywhere, anytime is, again.
Yeah, a very common thing.
So insight doesn't need to be different, but it needs to be
Yeah,
something which is attached to the behavioral aspect of our life. It needs to be connected or revolving somewhere around our life. So luxury of being at home is a fact.
yeah.
Anywhere, anytime is again a fact. That lens card can be anywhere, anytime.
Do you have an example?
I can. I personally have. Let me also share with you. Uh, Wait a second. So rather than showing my thing to you, I would like to show you this particular document from the last batch. We also did the same task. There were 4 5 people involved, and we were constantly very much involved. So I'll show you a couple of insights. See, one insight is forget forgetting. If it's this stylish. So I gave them an open-ended insight for this lens card.
Oh,
Take anything. So stylish frame is also their product feature,
yeah,
right? It will be with you from dusk till dawn. This is not an insight.
yeah,
Carry the style with your hair intact is not an
yeah,
insight efficiently. It needs to be built a little bit more. Changed persona minus the stress is a good approach to it.
yeah,
I like how the insight has been presented. So this can be considered an insight. Glare the judgy people, but with style.
yeah.
This is also an insight. This is what I wrote with them. About looks, no more fret with lens card contact. Achha, this is written by later on recently by one of the mentees. This is an insight. Get trendy classes minus the small talks.
Yeah.
You don't have to go there. Acha bhaiya, acha kaise ho?
Mm. Yeah.
So, and then the second one I was building, but I then left. I don't remember, but it was something. Give your hairs a partner. Sometimes you do this when you read along those lines. So these are some insights.
Yeah.
Do you get an idea now?
Yeah.
Would you like to try more on the insights?
I think I will think about it, and if I come up with anything, I'll let you know.
Okay. Then write in the same sheet and
Yeah.
just mention your initials.
Okay.
It can be just, SR.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll get to know whenever you write.
Okay.
And then we can discuss later on in the next session. Maybe I can also write in between some insights on lens card.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect, Sanvi. Anything that you want to ask at this point?
No, I think everything was very clear.
Perfect. So we meet next on 30th,
Okay.
Wednesday. Okay. Till then, bye bye. Good
Bye.
night. Take care.
Good night.